9:30 a.m. We will start with, I guess, Commissioner Giusti leading us to pledge. Commissioner Armstrong, give me
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Lord God, we just thank you for this day, Father. We thank you, Lord, that we can serve you in this way as public servants, Lord, as servant leaders. We pray, God, that you will guide our deliberations today and bless us as we deliberate and make decisions that are important for our county. And Father, we pray that you bless our state leaders and local leaders and our national leaders. And Father, we just pray that you be with us this day, that all our decisions will be done in your name. Amen. Amen.
All right, for public comment is next. We have one person signed up for public comment. Rusty Burkett, come on up. State your name, clear names, please.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Rusty Burkett. I live at 2406 Butler Drive, Brunswick, Texas. I'm also the president of the Galveston County Consolidated Fairness District, and that brings me by today. I'd like to highlight 4 key areas of focus, and there's many more, 4 key areas right now at the Galveston County Consolidated Fairness District. One is the flood gauge program that we were running with Simplicity. It is a solid state, new technology. It has a very informative, intuitive platform. Not say much like an iPhone for citizens of this county to be informed about advanced flooding, about trending, much more information than I'm able really to know until I see it in operation. There's a pilot program we're using for the safety and the information for the citizens that is much more advanced, kind of like piloting. You know, everything's kind of come along over the last 30 or 40 years, and the gauges, the way they operate and the way they're maintained is much cheaper, and it gives good information to our citizens. So that's one thing I'd like to highlight. Number 2 is about 2 years ago on the old board, before I was the president, we spent about $500,000 on a barge that did a lot of defoliation work. It got a lot of logs and debris out of the creek that we could not get to. Harris County couldn't get to Cook Creek. I know in Dickinson Bayou with the headwaters, there's some issues up there. But the barge was built to spec. It has a grapple, it has a saw, and it was paid for entirely by the district cheaper than what we rented one for 4 months. That barge will be available to Galveston County when it's on immediate use. I want y'all to use it as much as possible. The city of Friendswood, League City, Dickinson, and Harris County. Anybody who would like to use that barge, I think we should use that as a really good asset for us to contain our creeks out and to get them conveying water as much as we can. Third is IDRT, it's the Institute of Disaster Resilience Texas, Texas A&M Galveston, so it's homegrown. Dr. Sam Brody and his team of PhDs at the Institute are excellent. They do some really great work. If you look at the research side of Texas A&M, the first study is a sedimentation conveyance study in Cook Creek, focusing on reducing sedimentation, improving conveyance. This was inspired by a visit with the U.S. Army Corps last summer. We firsthand saw how vital it was to restore and maintain flow capacity. It was actually one of their squares of grant money that now we have a grant writer in the district, and we're prepared to receive money. We're focusing on studies that fit in the box of the federal government and the Corps. We'd love to work with you on that. The second study is the gates and the pumps. It analyzes the best location, kind of moves some stuff up on the guide for the Coastal Swine Project. This study will look at innovative ways for conveyance in Clear Creek, using Clear Lake kind of as a detention basin, looking at where they can put levees, pumps, to use that to reduce the inflow of tidal influence during storms, which makes it where there's not any capacity in Clear Creek. It also looks at volumizing the creek and what that would look like in many different scenarios, from Harvey going back. Our mission now is providing the very best care of the existing system of our banks and maintaining them properly, clearing the foliage and debris to really do what 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay. Well, thank y'all. I invite all 3 of y'all, all 4 of y'all. I know Hank's not here, to please come by the district and visit us. And I'd love to go over this stuff with you in person. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Items 1 through 83 are on consent. Request to pull 25, 27, and 55. and a second to approve the remaining consent items? That motion passes 4-0. Commissioner Duty's not here today. Before we get on to the other items, we have a couple of acknowledgements. The first on my agenda here is the resolution honoring the retirement of our district attorney, Jack Rohde. Mr. Rohde, come on up. We have some things to say. I'm going to start by saying, I've been around so long, I remember when Jack Rohde ran for county court of law judge.
Yes.
I know this because I put signs out for him, and I don't think I'd ever actually met him until that was in 2006. And in 2010, we ran together and did a lot of good for the county. So it's been great having you here as a district attorney. I'm kind of glad you didn't make it as a county court of law judge. I think you've been a lot more effective here where you are as a district attorney. And I'll say one more thing. During the COVID craziness, I was on the phone call when Jack Rohde told police departments and police chiefs, don't cuff anybody for these dumb violations because we're not going to take the charges. So that was great to have backup in the DA's office from the stuff that I was saying from the very beginning.
Thank you, Judge. Jack, thanks so much. Thanks for everything you do. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All the years of service to our county, and you're going to be at ACU, I think. Yes. And so I'm sure we got a good man, good professional. So congratulations on that. Thank you.
You're shaping young minds. Shaping young minds.
Yes, yes.
Jack, thanks for everything you've done for me over the years, different conversations we've had, helping and assisting with different problems throughout the county whenever we had questions, and you were there for that. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a leader in our community as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being my commissioner.
It's been a pleasure, Jack, working with you both as a commissioner and a fellow lawyer. You're the kind of person that we all strive to be, and we thank you for your service.
Anything you want to say?
Well, just that these have been the best years of my career, and I have enjoyed it tremendously. I'm so grateful that the voters of this county elected me to do the job that I love, and I have enjoyed working with the court. I thank the court for the support of our office over the years. All the elected officials, Dwight, and John, and all the constables, the sheriff's office, we've always had such a wonderful relationship. But I especially just want to thank the staff of our office. They are the frontline folks, the prosecutors that are in court on the front line every day, our investigators, our administrative staff. Some of them have been there years longer than I have, and some of them have been new, but their hearts are truly in it and truly to serve the people of this county. And so the county's in good hands with everybody in that office, and I'm so grateful for them. It's been a pleasure to work with them.
Great. Can we get a picture so we can prove people we know you?
Thank you. Yes.
Wait, we're sorry for the office.
And then would you like your staff to come up for a picture as well? Everybody?
We just got one other here, the rest of them are in court.
Sure.
So can you come up?
Kayla, do you want me to take your phone? Yes.
After all, so you raised him, so.
You sure did. You sure kept me out of a lot of trouble too.
Okay.
One more.
Awesome. More followers on the county. Go back to this. All right, next up, we have a resolution for recognizing Deputy Constable in Precinct 1, Deputy Sanford. I was watching the news the other night when I see a great story about a deputy constable doing something that's got nothing to do with being a constable. It's got everything to do with serving his community. And that was Deputy Constable from Precinct 1, Sanford, and it was really interesting because I had never heard of this until I saw it on Channel 2 in their segment. And so that is really what I think all of us should be, is doing things for the community and not asking for anything in return. So I wanted to recognize you personally today and have you come on up and say, good job for not only doing your job for the county, but doing your job for your community.
Hey, can you tell
Tell
us?
us a little bit about what it was.
I think he can do it better than I can.
Okay.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for having me. I really appreciate y'all. It was really nice getting acknowledged for that. I really thank you for having me here. I started a charity called the Deputy Sanford Claus Foundation. It's a 501c3. I used to be a police officer in Hitchcock, and I got to serve the lowest income areas of the county. And I noticed one night that there were on a call on Christmas Eve, there was a family of 6 kids and not a single Christmas tree, not a single present. And I asked the dad, I said, well, what's going on with Christmas, and he said, because I'm sorry, because I haven't been working. He said, it's just, we're not going to have one this year. So I got some, my sergeant and fellow officers together, ran to the only places we could find open, which at the time was Dollar General, and Christmas Eve, and we frantically wrapped presents and made sure that the kids all had something. That was 4 years ago. It grew from 6 kids to 44 kids the next year to 66 kids the year after that. And then this year we're expecting to do over 300 children in Texas City and Bayshore. To do something, just for Christmas, we decided that we just weren't busy enough. So we didn't just have enough to do. So we decided to open blessing boxes, free food pantries around the county in the most underserved areas. So I got with the help of Tashonda Edwards. She's our indigent coordinator for the county. We got some boxes together and decided to put them up. I got she rounded up a bunch of churches for me that were willing to put them out there. And so every Wednesday and Friday, I go and fill up the boxes with non-perishable foods. And then I caught on to y'all too, caught on the story. And right now, we estimate from video footage and surveillance and word of mouth and social media that we're feeding between 70 and 100 families a month. So it's really grown big. I have 4 of the boxes out now in Texas City, and we have 6 more planned. Got a lot of big donations that have come in, and so we're going to hopefully assist the Galveston County Food Bank, with relieve some of the stress off of them, because they are just buried with their requests. Same with Lighthouse Christian Ministries. So that was the goal, and I appreciate y'all recognizing it. Thank you very much.
What's the name of your 501?
It's the Deputy Sanford Claus Foundation.
Like Santa Claus?
Like Santa Claus, yes, sir.
Okay. If anybody's listening, they could probably use some donations.
Absolutely, yes, sir. We're on Venmo if you just look up Deputy Sanford Claus.
Good deal. All right.
Come on, let's take a picture.
Stay there. Get the rest.
that should bring us to item 25. I don't think anybody else is here for the other resolutions. Consideration of approval of appointment to the Gulf Coast Center Board submitted by Commissioner Precinct 4. And we just have to pull this to a name and name.
So yeah, you need a name, is that, or are you gonna wait till next?
Is there someone here for it? Is there someone here?
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, I did not know that. Hey, well. We have a resolution, I'm not sure what number this is. Here's the next, Commissioner Armstrong.
all right.
This is number 19. Resolution honoring the 175th anniversary of First Evangelical Lutheran Church. Commissioner Precinct 4. No one told me they were going to be here for it.
So Dorn's here, and Sandra and Miss Sanderson, come on up. I tried, Dorn, but I think you'd do way better if you would tell us about this.
I know, you know it's always dangerous when you guys give me the mic at the commissioners court meeting. No, thank you so much. I'm Brenda Glenn with Sandra Tetley and Barbara Ethan Sanderson. I don't have my county hat on today, guys. I am here as a member of First Evangelical Lutheran Church in Galveston, celebrating this year our 175th anniversary. And you were just recognizing the constable for his work in the community, and we thank you for taking a moment to recognize members of your greater Galveston County community who are celebrating events like this. Thank you so much. It means so much to our congregation for you all to take a moment to recognize this very special milestone. So thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And we would like,
It's a long time.
yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. And yes, we would like the pictures. They know. They know. They know. They know. Thank you so much. You just want to take your time. I appreciate you.
Just didn't know the boy.
I'm not moving, don't move.
Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Judge.
And let's not forget October 24th and 25th is Island Oktoberfest at the Lutheran Church.
Commissioner, go ahead.
What item number was it? So I think the mosquito department's here. Is anybody here? Haley, yes. Good. Well, I think John is retiring, and John, like many of the employees of Galveston County, have just been steadfast in his duties and will be sorely missed. Everyone pray for him. He's had a rough go medically for a while, but I think he's doing a little better. But please, everyone pray, and Haley, y'all please send our regards. Tell him we wish him well in his journey.
We will. Thank you.
He is another guy that's on my speed dial with mosquito control, believe me. So a very, very valuable person.
Well, me or
Not only
Ashley
just
are,
running the department, but flying the airplane.
well, me and Ashley are available if anybody needs us.
Well, if you can fly the airplane acrobatically like he can.
Oh, no, we're not playing with verification.
Do I like it?
Person for the resolution is not here.
Okay. All right.
All right, go back to 25. Approval of appointment to the Gulf Coast Central Board.
Yeah, Chris Barcelo is a long-term League City resident. He's a guy that's very involved and engaged in the healthcare space. He owns Maven Nursing Home over off of Alabama, and he owns another nursing home as well. So their family's been in the healthcare space for many, many years. And so I think he would be a valuable addition to this board. He's very, very experienced, so I think very very detail oriented and very responsible, so I think you did a good job.
Can you spell the name for the clerks?
Oh, Lord, Barcelo, B-A-R-C-E-L-O. And the first name is Chris, C-H-R-I-S. Good.
Motion and second for that appointment? Motion passes 4-0. Item 27, consideration of approval of a reappointment to Animal Services Advisory Committee submitted by County Judge. I believe we have Commissioner Juicy agreeing to serve on the board. We also have another vacancy. Does anyone else want to serve on the Animal Service Advisory Committee?
Judge Henry, Commissioner Doobie, who's not here this morning, has volunteered to.
Well, excellent. We'll put Commissioner, that's what he gets for missing a commissioner's board. He's on the Animal Service Committee. Commissioner Juicy and Commissioner Duke. Motion and second. Motion passes 4-0. Brings us to item 55. Consideration of renewal of annual policy premiums for commercial property damage, flood costs, and GI insurance, moved by Legal Services.
Good morning, gentlemen. Veronica Vandal, Legal Services Manager. Gary Kaufman, President of GIA.
Morning.
I'm trying to find, Gary, the spreadsheet, or Veronica, I don't see it in my notes.
But going from memory,
You had the spreadsheet, or the Excel sheet of the windstorm policies in the buildings and then of the flood policies.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that it's road and bridge, it speaks of the admin building, warehouse, it describes kind of, but are those all the new buildings? Are we sure? Because,
Yes, we have we're up to date.
so, okay, because all those buildings are online now that weren't, so. And then the toll booths on there, I mean, it's a $2,200 premium, but still it's $2,200. And I was just thinking, do we need to insure the toll booth
We
anymore?
don't use anymore?
We kind of hope it goes. So you don't want to drop the toll booth?
I don't see a point, yeah.
It said flood ineligible, obviously, but. Correct. So I think we dropped the toll booth.
Okay.
And then my last question was, can we, kind of like you do in your personal, if you cancel a policy, can you and I get together after we approve all of this? I know you and I talked about doing it next year, but there may be 2 or 3 others that I can't get to pull up, but can we drop it, can we cancel a policy and get a refund premium?
You can, yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's me and you maybe have lunch and just go over them, and Veronica, just one more time.
Okay.
Quickly, just to make sure there's not anything like the toll booth that we don't need.
Perfect.
Okay.
Are we okay to renew now, or we can defer this?
I think we can renew now, sure. But as of now, we're renewing minus the toll booth. That's the one thing.
We can make that correction, you bet.
Yeah. And then we'll look it up.
Yes.
I don't know what I did.
Got a motion and a second for renewal. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Gary, for coming up here.
Brings us to our action agenda, item 84, consideration of approval to award Galveston County Bank Depository Contract. Mr. County Clerk.
Good morning, gentlemen. We have gone through the bank solicitations, bank contracts, and we've met with our committee on 2 occasions, which consisted of the district clerk, the director of professional services, and our county auditor. And today we would recommend Prosperity Bank as the most favorable in forms of service and how we do business. We would also recommend for sub-depository banks, PNC Bank, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase. That would be our recommendation to the court to approve.
For the primary, that's who it is now, isn't it?
Is correct.
Okay.
So do we get charged a service fee for this, or is it a money thing, or just mostly a service thing?
Well, it depends on the bid, but basically, depending on, it's a very complicated formula where your deposits count as credits, essentially. However, Prosperity Bank's contract is a zero-cost bid, so there will be no fees for the entire duration of the contract.
Right. Thank you.
Regardless of balances.
All right, I have a motion to approve as recommended by the county clerk. That motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Item 85, receive public comments on new mitigation permit for 3244 Gulf Classic Drive in Crystal Beach, Gulf Castle Drive in Crystal Beach. Open up public comment at 9:56. Anyone here to just address commissioner support on dune mitigation permit for 3244 Gulf Castle Drive?
Michael Cannon, County Engineer. This is for mitigating work, but doing vegetation on top of some hay bales in this place.
I will close public comment at 9:56. Item 86, consideration of approval of dune mitigation permit for 3244 Gulf Castle Drive in Crystal Beach. Motion to, what's your recommendation?
Yes.
Approve without conditions?
Yes.
So what are we doing, Michael? What is this for?
This is an after-the-fact permit where the landowner put hay bales on top of some dune vegetation. We've gone through the GLO process and getting to meet our dune protection guidelines. And since the hay bales were placed on top of dune vegetation, they have to mitigate that and put sand back on top of the dunes and plant vegetation.
Even though the hay will degrade over time?
Even though,
Yeah.
All right, motion and second for non-conditional approval. Motion passes 4-0. That brings us to the end of our action agenda at 9:57. We'll start with our only workshop item. At 9:57, discuss 2026 employee health care plans made by Human Resources.
There's two separate presentations, one's employee benefits and one's employee survey.
Employee benefits and what?
Employee benefit survey.
Survey.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Rebecca from Human Resources. Now that we finalized the budget for the 2026 plan year, we're looking at employee health care rates. You might remember last year when we had our employee benefits, we decided that we would leave them as is. We haven't increased our health care premiums for employees or retirees since 2019. So they've had 5 years of consistent rates. So that we would look at those for the 2026 plan year. That's what I'm presenting to you today. If you look at the first page of the presentation, this is the suggested rates that we came up with working with Alliant and the budget team. As you can probably guess, healthcare has increased significantly since, I think, 2019. We have like a $16 million healthcare budget, and it's at almost $21 million for the 2026 plan year. So we've made some suggestions for healthcare rates for employees, and this would also be for retirees who are not Medicare eligible. That would be to leave the high deductible plan as is, but offer it to the employee at no cost. This gives an option for employees who maybe can't afford their health care to ensure that they can be on the plan. This is increasing the base plan by 8%, which for an employee only, that's about an $8 a month increase. For an employee and spouse, that's a $20 a month increase. Employee and children, that's like a $16 increase. And employee and family, that's at like $27. So not that much of an increase. Where we did have the significant increase was the buy-up plan. And working with the budget team and Alliant, these are our recommendations for increases. That would also increase the tobacco rates and the non-annual health assessment rates for that group of employees.
So what is the first one, the HDHP?
That's the high deductible health plan. That is the highest deductible that we offer. Once the employee meets the deductible, the plan pays 80% and the participant pays 20%. If an employee is eligible for, or participates in the high deductible health plan, they're eligible for a health savings account. So they could take the money that they used to pay for the premiums, now that they're $0 if this is approved, and put that towards that health savings account, setting money aside for healthcare expenses.
So I'm looking, are you showing the current amount? Like, let's go back to the buyout.
So if you look at the black box that I have almost near the center of the page, that is the difference in monthly expenses that would be to the employee. For example, if it's an employee only in the high deductible plan, they're going to be saving $47. If it's an employee on the base plan, they're going to be paying $8 extra per month. But for the buyout, the employee is going to be paying $85.50 extra per month. So the highest increase is for the buyout plan, which is the richest plan that we have.
So, all right, the yellow, the two columns to the left of the black box, that's our current monthly cost per employee?
That is the proposed.
So you're not showing what we're currently, you're just
No.
giving us the difference right here?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not seeing any difference between I'm seeing the change, looking at the change, and I'm looking at suggested rates, tobacco rates, and HRA rates. They're all pretty much the same. The differences are the same.
That's correct, except for the buyout plan.
I think the buyout plan is the same as well.
We are passing down a report just with the current rates, Commissioner, so you can have it. It's on the third one to the last column, current employee monthly contribution. So that's what the employees are currently.
So Commissioner Armstrong, to your point, I think we did a % increase, so it was based off what the new premium is that % increase. So that's why it's looking the same. But if you look at the rates for the tobacco rates, for example, it's $453.50 per month for an employee only for the buyout plan. With the, if they get their annual health assessment, it's only $298.
Okay, that's it.
So it's working with the percentage.
Commissioner, you also want to look at the far left column showing the count of participants. And so you can see the tobacco rates in the buyout plan, there's only 14 individuals on the plan of the buyout plan. And then if you go down to the no blood draw HRA, there's actually no.
I don't see that.
participants.
Where you going? Oh, tobacco rates on the next page.
So it looks like the Cadillac plan is the one that the rates are going up.
It is. And that's our biggest expense in healthcare expenses. And we'll revisit these rates again next year.
So what is the deductible for the high deductible plan?
So the IRS sets the deductible, or they have limits for them.
Skip ahead to another
Yes.
page 3 to see this.
So it is the medical plan by design, and my glasses are not that good, but I think that's $3,400 for the deductible. And the family deductible is $6,800.
And I think the difference in deductibles for primary care between the buyout plan and the base plan is the buyout plan for primary care has a $35 deductible on the primary care visit. And the base plan is what, 80% of
It is.
the cost of the visit. However, I think it's important to note that the county, we have that engagement with UTMB for primary care services for employees to engage in, and I think the copay is $10. Is that correct?
It's $10 this year, but we'll get to the slide where they're going to increase that to $15, or it's proposed to increase that to $15 moving forward. So in addition to raising premiums for the employees, we also made some design changes to our plan that would also help with the cost impact. So if you look at the medical design
plan that also showed those deductibles, we've highlighted the changes that we'll be making. Some of those are adding a $100 copay for employees who visit an emergency room. Right now, there's not a copay, so adding that in, slight changes.
So you're probably answering the questions right before me that I'm fixing to ask you, but you know I struggle with this
That's okay.
every re-enrollment period. So, because the bulk of our people, 600, are on the buyout,
That's correct.
and there's no deductible for buyout. For the buyout.
There is a deductible for the buyout. It's $1,500.
But they have copays. So with the base plan, when you go to the doctor, you have to pay out of pocket until you meet your deductible. With the buyout plan, when you go to the doctor, you pay a copay. If it's an office visit, specialty care visit, you don't have to meet your deductible. So that is why it's the richest plan that most of the population of people are enrolled in.
But, okay, and then what is the deductible for the base plan?
The deductible for the base plan is $2,250.
So $1,000 more. No, not even, $750.
Yeah.
The difference being you only, on the base plan, you have to pay personally until you meet your deductible.
That's correct.
Where at the buyout, you just pay your copay.
That's correct.
But other than that, a person could go from buyout to base.
And that was our thinking, is that maybe it's an employee that can't absorb this cost increase. They could easily move to the base plan and pay the same rates they were paying for the buyout. They wouldn't have copays when they go to the doctor. They would have to meet their deductible first. But that would be an easy transition if they were not able to absorb that increase.
Well, I think also moving some of our employees off of the buyout to the base, which is going to be a heavy component of Rebecca and her team in educating the employees that their savings in premium by going to the base, as well as her making it more attractive with having like the ER copay at $100 and some other things. You know, they'd be saving well over $1,000 a year for a $750 difference in deductible. And so I think it makes a lot more sense for employees to look at it. And moving forward next year, we're talking with Rebecca and Alliant. We're going to try to find a way to create something that looks more like a hybrid between the buyout and the base to offer two plans, which would make more sense because there's not too much difference between the buyout and the base other than these co-pays and everything. And the premiums that you can see are slightly different. I think offering one that's kind of a hybrid of the two to the employees have a high deductible plan and just a normal base plan makes more sense for the county long term. But right now we're running into $1 million deficit off of where it is with our population. And as you can see on the premiums, the biggest impact is to take a look at the families, right? Family plans, the number of families that are in the buyout could have unlimited, doesn't matter how many kids are on the plan with you, and the premium's still, you know, significantly low based on the premium. So we're trying to find a way to make the base look more attractive and lower our costs, but also increase the benefits that you get in the base plan.
And if I can add to what Tyler was saying, we actually did give you some of the data that Alliant provided with the actuarials. And I just wanted to share with you some of the tiers. So essentially, whenever we have a medical plan, we have different tiers, right? When it's employee, it's 1.0. When it's employee and spouse, is 2, and so on and so forth. However, for all of our plans, we have a tier of 1, 1.16, 1.11, which means that we are only charging for a little portion for the employee, but nothing for the family, to what Tyler was saying. So we definitely need to increase. I did provide you with this analysis essentially of how much we will need to increase it, which will be the second to last column, employee monthly actuarial versus parent. And it's a huge increase. So we are definitely not going that far. I know Rebecca and I met multiple times and discussed it. It's impossible for us to just pass all of these to our employees in one year, but we definitely need to make a change because it's not going to be sustainable from a financial perspective. So.
But again, I think the component of employer education from Rebecca and her team, which have been doing a great job here, showing employees of the changes that the Commissioner's Court makes to the plan. I think a lot of families and employees will find that the base plan, utilizing the UTV clinics that we have, is more attractive. They'll save in the long run, and the difference in deductible of $750, they will be saving theoretically well over $1,100 to $1,200 a year premium. So they'll make up the difference for them. However, there'll be some more out-of-pocket upfront costs. However, again, you have that savings rate to kind of absorb that. It's based on your usage. And, as far as primary care goes, utilize those UTB clinics, which has been a great partnership. We save a lot of money working for them, and we increase the quality of care to our employees by, engaging with UTB on those.
So, Deanna, can you give us just a simple chart of the premiums we collect and pay versus, or should I say, the premium that we pay as employees versus the premiums that we're paying for the health costs?
Okay, so here on this table, you also have the employee count, which is the same data that Rebecca has. So you have by every single plan, and you have the different pages, non-tobacco, no health assessment. Well, we'll just use the first page as an example. Essentially, monthly premium amount, that's how much we are paying in total for that employee or for that person. Employee plus spouses, employee plus children, etc. So for example, let me just take the base, the buy-up, employee plus family. We pay $3,030, and that's the, I don't know if you were able to find it, Commissioner.
Oh, I see it now.
Okay, perfect. So
Wait, that's in the buy-up.
That's in the buy-up,
Yes.
right? So that's how much everybody, employee plus county, is paying for that plan. However, we are only charging the employee $518 monthly.
Okay.
So there is definitely and the county contribution is of $795. However, we are definitely absorbing more. This is kind of in an ideal world how much the employee should pay. Now, if that is the case, then the employee should absorb a cost of $2,218, which obviously we don't want to go that far. And this is actuarials based on the analysis that Alliant did. And usually what we recommend is going on the average, not necessarily based on the actuarial. But this is just to kind of show you the big picture of how the analysis goes. So essentially, we are paying $1,700 more for the family than what we should be collecting. We're only collecting $518, and we should be collecting $2,218. And based on Rebecca's recommendation, we are only going to $700.
Okay, so, and then, but back to the suggested rates in the black box, that instead of employees paying $518 for employee and family paying $518, they'll now pay $207 more.
Yes, $725, which is highlighted in yellow by
Yes. But on the employee and family, they'll only pay 27. I'm sorry, employee and family under the base, only 27.
Which is 27 from the current base plan. So if you take a look at the total monthly contribution that the employee would pay for them and their family to be on the base plan would be $362 versus the buy-up plan, which is $725. So at the end of the day, it's half, right? And so if you think about that, then it's increasing the deductible that you're paying, the annual out-of-pocket deductible for an individual, $1,500 to $2,250, so $150 difference, but they're going to be saving over $3,500 to $4,000 more a year in premium costs to help them pay for those unexpected needs in the health, plan. So making it more attractive again by adding some co-pays in it, like Rebecca has done with ER visits for $100, so you're not getting hit with a bill of $800, right? To go into the ER, it's $100, and you use the plan, as well as utilizing UTB with the savings, right? Educating the employees to show them that the base plan actually would work out better for them by also getting to collect the proper premiums we need for the buy-up plan. It's actually win-win. So yes, some folks may decide based on, once they get educated in the plan, the offerings, that hey, this makes more sense for me to be on the base plan with the savings, and it's not that much big of a hit for them because the savings can be used for those unexpected, medical costs that they might incur. And then again, too, I want to point out, part of this plan too is to start making the high deductible plan. As you can see, I want to point out that right now county employees pay about $47 a month for one employee to be on the high deductible plan, which has a deductible of what, $3,400 a year?
Yes.
That high deductible plan is the highest deductible. It's not much higher than the $2,250 that the base plan has, right? But it's higher by over $1,200. But the county is going to now be providing the high deductible health insurance plan to the employee for free. We're going to be reducing that premium down to $0, $0 cost to the employee, right? To make it more attractive, to where healthier employees who don't use the plan often can start putting those savings towards a health savings account and then use that for a rainy day when they, if and ever, need to use the healthcare plan, right? To help pay for those deductibles and out-of-pocket expenses.
And preventative care still remains covered at 100% before the deductible, so to go get those screenings and the preventative care that they need, they wouldn't have out-of-pocket expenses.
And then none of this will affect our GLP-1s.
No. Any employee enrolled in the health plan is eligible for the Keep Well program with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I got to admit, I was a little bit concerned at first when we first started talking about this, just because without having done a COLA this year for folks, I thought, gee, that may be tough on some people. But now with the further explanations that y'all have done, I think the main thing, and I know you're going to do it, is educating our workforce.
Yes.
As long as they hear what y'all were just saying, and you actually sit down with them like I know you will, and explain it to them, I think they're going to come out ahead actually in the long run especially. So thank y'all.
With the base plan, one last thing I'll add, you only pay if you use it. You know, instead of paying those higher premiums every pay period, you're only paying if you're using the plan.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And then just for clarity, this is, you've said it, but this doesn't count on our UTMB Health. I mean, that's, you go there and it's free.
Well, it's $10, and go up to $15 for the visit, but yeah, it costs the employee nothing, right? And that's just a charge that the county's absorbing, and folks use that for typical primary care services or feeling ill. You go see them. More serious issues, you go and utilize the plan with a specialist or referral from that UTMB doc.
And that brings us to our UTMB price increase. UTMB has presented price increases for the 2026 plan year. Just as we're having to increase our premiums, healthcare has gone up significantly. So they will be increasing the fee for employees per visit from $10 to $15. And they've also increased the price of our labs. We did meet with UTMB and add in lab work that looks at white blood cells and red blood cells. Not a cancer screening, but just to see if there's anything else going on. And we are making sure that they're doing the weight, the blood pressure, and the follow-up calls. That was a concern from the previous year. Next, we need to talk about retiree benefits. The retirees' price increase will be the same as the employees unless they're Medicare eligible. Some of you may know Medicare has made lots of changes to the plan in the last 2 years, and they've significantly increased the rates to the county. When we started with the Aetna Medicare PPO plan, we were paying $202.27 per member per month. The retiree was paying $65 per member per month. Just like the employees, we have not raised the rates for retirees since 2019. So for 5 straight years, they've continued the same price, but the price to the county has increased. So you'll see there to the left how they've increased the rates each year, but the most significant increase was in 2025. Went up 31.27%. That's because Medicare made a lot of changes. On the next page, you can read those, but the different changes that Medicare has made to these plans, which makes the plan richer. And then they came in again with 2026 with another 11.82% increase. So instead of trying to find a way to recoup this money and put the burden on the retirees, we went to Aetna and said, how can we get that premium down? And they suggested adding in some copays. You may know right now our Aetna plan has $0 out-of-pocket, $0 deductible, $0 copay. You could go to the hospital, be in the hospital for a week, you're not going to get a bill, it covers it at 100%. So by us adding in a $50 annual deductible and a $250 out-of-pocket maximum, and adding in copays for like the $20 copay when they go to the doctor, we were able to get that rate down to $285.37. We suggest increasing the retiree rates to $75. They currently pay $65. We made that decision with the court last year that we would wait until the 2026 plan year to increase the rates for retirees. And all year long, we have been providing that education and communication to the retirees. Each person we speak with, we're like, yes, it's still $65, but expect an increase for the 2026 plan year. So our recommendation would be to increase that to $75 and to go with the annual deductible and the co-pays for certain services. And I've listed those services down at the bottom of the page for the suggested plan changes. That's what that would include.
Can the retirees use the UTMB?
They can. Yes.
I'd like to also point out that this coverage that we're providing to our retirees is not heard of. The fact that we're covering this advantage plan for them at the cost we are, no other public sector entity is doing this for the retirees. So one, kudos to the Commissioners Court for providing this coverage to retirees. And I know anytime we talk about increases in premiums and co-pays with, folks who are a fixed income, it's difficult, but one thing I don't think everybody in the court is knowledgeable to know that this is unique, what you're offering, very unique. And so, for whatever it's worth, I wanted to point that out to y'all this morning and, give you guys some credit for that, because I think it's important to point out.
And our retirees love the Aetna Medicare PPO plan, they do. We took this out to bid in the 2025 plan year. Aetna came out on top again. We considered doing that again when they came up with the 11% increase for 2026, or almost 12%. But with these suggested plan changes, we could keep Aetna, and the price would not go up that much, only 1.66%. That's all I have for you today.
All right, any questions? Thank you. All right, then we're done with our agenda at 10:22.